In exchange, His Grace will confirm your possession of Dragonstone. It will pass to your true-born son, Jacaerys, upon your death. Jacaerys will be confirmed as the legitimate heir to Driftmark. Prince Daemon will also be given places of high honor at court. Aegon the Younger as the king's squire, Viserys as his cupbearer.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a what if video. And in this case, the scenario we're going to be looking at is what if Rhaenyra had accepted the terms that Alicent proposed and Otto presented to her at Dragonstone. There are different facets to this conversation, one of which is, would it have actually avoided war? So let's dive in. Before we get to the aspect of the Targaryen civil war, let's just look at the proposal on its face. Rhaenyra and her family accepts Aegon as king, and then she's allowed to keep Dragonstone and everyone lives happily ever after? I don't think so. This proposal was solely based on the close bond of friendship that Rhaenyra and Alicent had shared throughout their youth. This relationship was severely tested when Viserys chose Alicent as his second wife. After this, Rhaenyra and Alicent were often at odds. At times, they seemed to repair things, but it was always strained. The most difficult period came when Alicent questioned the legitimacy of Rhaenyra's children with Rhaenor, leading to this painful scene where Rhaenyra, having just given birth, was forced to present her newborn son to Alicent. But as Viserys' health plummeted at his final dinner, Rhaenyra and Alicent seemed to come to a new understanding.
Let me see the children home. I'll, return on Dragonback.
The king and I would both like that.
This is largely what led Alicent down the path of offering her friend an olive branch, although she could have averted this entire mess by not insisting that Viserys on his deathbed suddenly wanted Aegon as king, a notion that even Aegon saw as ludicrous.
And my father never wanted this.
That's not true.
He had 20 years to name the heir and never did. Steadfastly, he upheld Rhaenyra's claim.
He changed his mind.
Wow. No. He could have, but he never did. Because he didn't like me.
Nevertheless, if only Rhaenyra and Alicent were involved, who knows, maybe there could have been an equitable agreement for it all. The problem is, though, that Alicent's victory over Otto in getting hold of Aegon and bringing him back to the Red Keep is a short-term one. Otto wanted to wipe out Rhaenyra and her whole family.
The former heir cannot, of course, be allowed to remain free and draw support to her claim.
She'll never bend the knee. Nor will Daemon, which you know. You plan to kill them.
It is unsavory, yes, but a sacrifice we must make.
That's not going to change with Rhaenyra accepting a peace offering. Otto is going to work behind the scenes to remove Rhaenyra's children because they're a threat to the line of succession for the Greens. He'll also try to influence Aegon to achieve these aims, and with people like Criston Cole in the king's ear, these aren't individuals that have the best interest of Rhaenyra or her family in mind. If the Greens had accepted Rhaenyra as queen, I think Alicent's side of the family would have been safe. Rhaenyra is the rightful heir, and the Seven Kingdoms all know that she was chosen by Viserys. The Greens, though, are the usurpers, so they're in a much more dangerous situation, leaving the offspring of the former heir in positions where they may regain power. Rhaenyra's children are also bound to marry into another powerful house, the Velaryons, so this alliance in itself is a very unsettling proposition for the Greens. So no, Rhaenyra's children aren't safe, and besides, we know that the chasm between the two sides is too great. We have Aemon's boiling hatred for Lucerys, and what that eventually led to. And then, of course, there's Daemon.
I would rather feed my sons to the dragons than have them carry shields and caps. For your drunken usurper cunt of a king.
Daemon is never going to accept Aegon as king, nor is he going to allow his sons with Rhaenyra to be at the mercy of the Greens. So I see there being a couple of different options for him. He could feel completely disgusted and betrayed by Rhaenyra's acquiescence, and take his two sons, Aegon and Viserys, with him to Essos, which is where he lived with Laena prior to her death. But I think that's the least likely option. His children with Laena are both promised to Jason and Lucerys, so I don't see him abandoning them, and it's clear he's also embraced a fatherly role with the children Rhaenyra had before they married. So while Daemon was deferential to Rhaenyra when she took the crown and became queen, if she ever decided to recognize Aegon, Daemon would take it upon himself, before word could even get back to the Greens, that she accepted their offer, and he would get on Caraxes and start the war on his own. He's not going to sit by and have his family become hostages at the mercy of Aegon and Otto. In the end, the history, the grievances, and the distrust between these two factions of the same family is far too great. Alicent and Rhaenyra are the only ones who share a bond between the two sides. For the rest, it's all animosity. After Viserys died, the only way war could have been avoided is if the Greens had accepted Viserys' wishes and Rhaenyra ascended to the throne. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're interested in more on House of the Dragon and A Song of Ice and Fire, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.